A dream of his, former tight end at the University of Miami, and he was a good one. That's Felix Jones, and he is deep back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As Cleveland won the toss, they deferred. And to kick off for the Cleveland Browns will be Billy Cundiff. A lot of touchbacks. In fact, if he has 2 today, he'll beat the single season record of 30 by the longtime kicker Phil Dawson. Wind is blowing, as you can see. The ball is off the tee. Fans are still filing in. I think I'd sit in my car, too, if it were this cold and windy. I don't know if I would get inside the stadium early.
You know, people in these parts here in northern Ohio, they live for this weather. They live for football. And more importantly, Kevin, they live for this game, this heated rivalry against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So the Steelers are 4-6. The Browns are 4-6. And here we go in cold and windy Cleveland today. Jones a couple yards deep and takes it out to about the 26-yard line. A 27-yard return. Eric Martin, a rookie, makes the stop. This brings us to 10-year veteran Ben Roethlisberger, who threw 4 touchdowns last week against the Detroit defense.
And we talked to Ben. Of course, he's led them to 4 wins in their last 6 games. He said, you know, even though they got off to that 0-4 start, they're not focusing on the playoffs. He said, we focus on every single game. And Kevin, he said, we've always felt like we were better than our record.
And as always, when we talked to him last night, very confident in where this team is going. Le'Veon Bell is in the backfield. That is the tight end Miller on the move. It is 1st and 10. Emmanuel Sanders. He dances and gets by screen and then takes it up for a first down to the 40. A catch and run of 14 by Emmanuel Sanders, playing with a bit of a foot injury today.
Oh, we said at the beginning, they're going to have to tackle. They're going to see this all day, whether it's Emmanuel Sanders, whether it's Antonio Brown. The bubble screen, buster screen cannot get the tackle on Sanders. He creates yards after the catch. As a group, they do as good a job at that as any group in the NFL.
It is a first down. Here is the rookie Bell, blocked by Miller and trying to find some room. Bryant jumps on his back. He's up to the 42. He picks up 2 on the play. Now the offensive line. Ramon Foster is back at the left guard after missing last week. And a couple players told us last night that Velasco is the MVP of this team for what he's done, taking the place of the injured Pouncey. And then here you see the great weapons, including on the right there, Antonio Brown. Sally told you he leads the NFL in receptions, coming into today with 74. 2nd down and 8 on the opening drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bell. Oh, there was a good block inside by Velasco. He's in the secondary. Down he goes. They whistle him down. Screen makes the tackle. A burst of 13 to the 45 and a first down.
It's amazing that they're able to be able to run it because there was 8 defenders in the box. Watch, you'll get the safety coming up right there. That's TJ Ward. They get 8 defenders in the box. Le'Veon Bell still able to crease and split the defense. So this is something they wanted to be able to do. Winterize their offense by featuring more of a rushing attack in the months of November and December.
Bell again on 1st and 10, and a block by Miller, and then a tackle up the middle by Shear. Gain of 2 by Bell to the 43. Phil Taylor anchors the number 4 defense in the NFL. Bryant came from the Oakland Raiders. Tank Carter today takes the place of the injured inside backer Craig Robertson. And Joe Hayden will be a guy to watch. All the Steelers on offense told us he's the top quarterback in the AFC, one of the best in the NFL. 2nd down and 8 on a drive that started back at the 26 for Roethlisberger. Shear got in the way. The elusive Roethlisberger, and it's down the middle with a nice catch with Miller making the grab. Jackson tackles him. It's a gain of 12. Another first down. Here's the hurry up in the no huddle for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they feel like when they get the defense off balance. Watch how he pump fakes right there. That's what Ben does as well as any. He uses the pump fake to immobilize the defense, and then his mobility allows him time to get the ball off.
Bell. And he finds about 4, brought down by Bryant and down to the 27. So on this drive, Solomon, a catch and run of 14 by Sanders, a run of 13 by Bell, and a reception by Miller of 12 moments ago.
It's got to be frustrating, Kevin, for defensive linemen who come free and Ben standing right there. They anticipate getting the sack. He's so strong, he's so mobile, and then he uses the pump fake to get you off balance to buy more time.
In that nickel, Cleveland, second down and 6. Bell, oh, what a nice stick. It's Ward coming up, second leading tackler for that defense, throws him for a loss of a yard. He's back to the 28.
Or it's feast or famine for Ray Horton, calling those defenses for Cleveland. And watch TJ Ward, 8th defender in the box, and this time he wins. The last time that Ray Horton put him in the box and TJ Ward was not able to make the tackle, Le'Veon Bell had a sizable gain, and so it's just going to be a chess match between Ray Horton. Remember, he spent 7 years as a defensive back coach in Pittsburgh and knows this football team very well.
Billy Wynn is in on the defensive line. 6 in the secondary. 3rd and 7 for Roethlisberger. Wynn makes the stop on Bell. Coming through, bringing him down. No gain on the play. They stay at the 28. They are going into the wind, and let's see what kind of decision they make here on 4th down. And there's some discussion on the sideline, and now they will try for 3. Wynn just came in and makes the stop.
Yeah, Billy Wynn was able to knife in and get the tackle in the backfield. Excellent play by the Browns defense after allowing Pittsburgh to drive the ball down the field.
Sweezum will try from 47. He's made 7 consecutive field goals. A 47-yard try with the wind in his face. And he is good, but barely. Crowd thought maybe it was going to get caught in the wind, which it did, but he had enough. And Cleveland has watched a 3-point try go in for Pittsburgh. And the bundled up Roethlisberger had some big players there. Sanders for 14, Bell the run for 13, Miller a catch of 12, and they get a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah, the Steelers only one opening drive touchdown the last 16 games. They had to settle for a field goal there.
And the kick to Whitaker from about the 2 from Sweezum. And Fozzie, who played at the University of Texas, was signed at midseason, is brought down on the play by Will Allen. A return of 31. Coming up, 9-year veteran Jason Campbell and the Browns with their first possession on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. T. Rowe Price, understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. And by the redesigned Honda Odyssey. Honda, start something special.
Great to look at, but boy, is it cold blowing off that water today. Here's a look at Jason Campbell. 4th start today for the Cleveland Browns. With a 1st and 10. Like Obadiah there heard some steps, and those steps were those of Troy Polamalu. Well, most of that line has started all season long. 4 of those guys have been starters all season. The communication is there, and they're getting better, they think, week by week. That's the Browns' offensive line. And then you look at these guys, the tight end Jordan Cameron in the top 3 in the NFL among tight ends and receptions, tight end yards. Gordon is a rising star. And a receiver. 2nd down, 10, Devon Bess. And goes into the grasp of Gay, who makes the stop. And Cortez Allen there, too, on a gain of 5. He's up to the 40-yard line.
And as we get set for the... Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, the defense. Here we go. Ziggy Hood is going to take the place of Kiesel, who misses another game with plantar fasciitis at that defensive end. And now at the linebackers, Worlds goes and takes the place of Woodley. That means the rookie Jarvis Jones with another start on the other side. And here you see the secondary. Ike Taylor usually is matched up against the opposing team's top receiver. 3rd down and 5. And sure enough, here is Taylor at the bottom against Gordon. And Campbell goes to Gordon. He gets by Gay, and the long strides take him downfield for a 1st down. A terrific catch and run to the Pittsburgh 36. Picks up 24. The Browns move the chains.
Now these Pittsburgh Steelers, they've given up a lot of plays. You'll just go across the field here. They've given up a lot of plays early in ball games. Timmons can't stay with them. William Gay can't stay with them. Gets across the formation, picks up a first down on the catch and run by Gordon. Love what I heard from Jason Campbell. In fact, he said they got off to a real bad start last week against Cincinnati. Felt like the bye week had robbed them of their chemistry and timing between quarterback and wide receiver. Real nice to see them getting off to a good start today.
With a couple tight ends, it is a 1st and 10. Fake to McGahee. To the side and looking for Cameron. Gay was there. Worlds was in the vicinity. So let me ask you a question. We said that Gordon was matched up against Taylor, yet do they hand off coverage then when he crosses the field like that?
Absolutely. He was lined up over him initially, but in zone coverage, he dropped back to cover his area, and you turn him over to the crossing linebacker, and it's a matchup zone that the Steelers often use on the back end of their defense.
4 consecutive passes. There's again the Gordon matchup with Taylor. 2nd down and 10. Whoops. Little false start.
Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Terry McCauley, who's our referee, working Super Bowls 39 and 43, along with 6 conference championship games. This guy is as decorated as there is in the game. Calling our game today. Now 2nd down and 15.
We talked to Ryan Clark about the fact that 2 of the last 3 weeks they've given up. This Pittsburgh Steelers defense has given up over 300 yards total offense in the first half of ball games against the Patriots and the Detroit Lions. He said that sometimes they could just be plain schizophrenic on this defense, allowing for big plays.
Have 6 in the secondary now. It's 2nd down and 15. Obadiah trying to find some room and brought down by Cameron Hayward. It's a gain of 6 as he plows his way near the 35.
Well, the Cleveland Browns, they haven't had an opening drive touchdown last 18 games. This is the longest active streak. You know, they're playing with their 3rd starting quarterback this season. That has a little bit to do with it, Kevin, when you can't get the early chemistry that Rob Chizensky wants on offense. Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, Brandon Wheaton have all started at quarterback throughout this season for the Cleveland Browns.
On 3rd down and 9. They got him, but shy of the first. Best with Gay defending the catch at the 31. Pickup of 5 by Devon Best, the former Miami Dolphin. They're a little bit shy with the wind at their back. They get into field goal range, and they'll try for 3 right here in the tie.
But a real smart play defensively by William Gay. They defended the sticks. If you defend the first down marker, allow them to catch it in front of you, but nothing beyond that. Let's see if Cleveland can take advantage of the win at their backs.
Here's Billy Cundiff. You see his numbers, a 49-yard try. Lanning is the holder. Long snapper Christian Yount. Here is a wind-aided field goal, which ties it at 3. From 49 yards away and halfway through the 1st quarter. So each team has had it once. Each team has scored in Cleveland. Well, 50 years ago this week, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, and 2 days later the Cowboys traveled to Cleveland to play the Browns. Browns won it 27-17. Dallas quarterback Don Meredith. Frank Ryan was the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Tom Landry coached the Cowboys. Blanton Collier coached the Browns. And it was interesting in that game, Jim Brown had 17 carries for 51 yards. It was his best season as a pro, but one of his worst individual performances. The Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way, that day were in Chicago. They played Mike Ditka, who was a tight end for the Bears. They tied at 17. The Cowboys, a very visible symbol of Dallas, and people were blaming the city for the assassination. And interesting, Art Modell owned the Browns. He told the PA announcer here in Cleveland that day, just call them the Cowboys, don't call them the Dallas Cowboys. Felix Jones, who once played for Dallas, takes it up and is brought down. Nice play by Jordan Poyer, who was signed a month ago. He's a rookie from Oregon State. It is a 20-yard return. Poyer all over that one. By the way, CBS did not broadcast any football that Sunday. In those days, Solomon, 14 teams played in 7 cities. Instead, CBS covered the events of the assassination. And of course, Lee Harvey Oswald was shot an hour before kickoff at many stadiums that day. So another event happened, which was just a succession of things in a very historical moment 50 years ago.
Many players played with heavy hearts on that day.
It's the second possession for Roethlisberger. And out of the backfield he goes to his tight end, Will Johnson, the fullback as well, brought down by Tank Carter. He's up to the 25. He gains 9 to New York and James Brown.
Bears, Matt Forte, a rare fumble leads to a Zach Stacy 1-yard touchdown run. Rams are up 14-0. Tavon Austin has already taken a 65-yard run in to give the Rams the lead. The route is on in St. Louis, JB.
All right, Boomer's guy, Kevin Harlan, both of them, and Solomon Wilcox.
Tavon Austin is really catching fire at the right time.
Oh, yes, he has, showing that he's well deserved of that first-round pick in St. Louis.
He's out of West Virginia. You Pittsburgh Steelers fans know him well. Second down and 1. This is Le'Veon Bell, a rookie out of Michigan State, who picks up 3 and finds a first down. He is at about the 28.
Found it interesting when I asked Mike Tomlin about Le'Veon Bell starting and beginning to get hot. He said it's got more to do with the offensive line, the moving parts that you talked about, the loss of Marquise Pouncey. But they believe they can get the run game going as we head into the month of December.
Bell is going to play a slot receiver here on the near side.
This is when Ben is at his best. He's operating in that backfield. He will look to extend the play if his receiver isn't open initially.
It is 1st and 10. Miller. It was hit by Chris Owens, who played for some time with Atlanta. It is a gain of 2 on the play, and Sal, he's up to the 31.
Heath Miller is one of those players who were missing in the early part of the season. Remember, they had struggles at left tackle. We talked about the loss of Pouncey, some injuries even on defense with Larry Foote. That's the reason that this team considers itself to be better than its record. They got off to that terrible start because they had to plug in a lot of holes due to injuries.
Second down, 8. With time, and back at the receiver, Antonio Brown. In the vicinity was Hayden. A little bit in back. I don't know if there was some miscommunication there or not. That brings up 3rd and 8 for Pittsburgh.
Oh, watch this Brown cut in front of Hayden. If he doesn't get his backhand on this ball and bat it down, look where Hayden is. Good position to get the intercept on the ball thrown behind Antonio Brown. And Ben Roethlisberger was lucky to get away with one. Now on 3rd and 8. See where Ben goes with the football.
You may recall last week against Detroit, Pittsburgh scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions. Scored on the first today. Bell in motion. 3rd and 8. This is Bell blocking ahead. Coxley with the block, and the tackle is made by Owens. He'll be close to a first down, picking up 7. He had to get up near the 39. He had the 38, and I think he's going to be shy, Solomon, by about a half yard here.
He certainly attacked the line of scrimmage on that play. Let's take a look at it. Look, Ben wants to run another play. He's trying to get everyone back to the huddle. There he is there. Now watch him get vertical and just attack. And that's what you do. You get there, and that's going to be real close.
4th and 1.
He'll probably keep it.
They don't call it much. Trying to get him to jump too, huh?
Yes, he is. Trying to get the hard count. They're not going to do anything.
Play clock at 2 and 1. Timeout. All right, they're going to punt on their second possession. We're tied at 3. First quarter in Cleveland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx One Rate. Simple flat rate shipping with the reliability of FedEx. And by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side.
The Steelers have used their first timeout. Matt McBriar, who was signed in late October after Zoltan Mesko was released on a 26-degree day. Deep back is Jordan Poyer. No hang time. Not much distance, and we watched these guys punting and kicking before the game with a little snow falling, and there was nothing there. 43-yarder with a little bounce for McBriar and a timeout. Well, when it's a wind chill of 11, you figure out any way to stay warm. and pick up anything you can find.
Got to jump around, right?
You got to jump around. Here we go. Second possession for the Cleveland Browns after a 5-and punt by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fake to Whitaker. Outside for Gordon. Grabbed nicely outside by linebacker Jarvis Jones, the rookie from Georgia. He limits him to a gain of 2 and up to the 21-yard line. And with NFL Mobile, you can get live video access to exclusive premium content on your smartphone. Call *NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Message and data rates may apply. Second down and 8. Whitaker remains a box by Laval, and there's a tackle made by you-know-who, the 7-time Pro Bowler, Polamalu. Gain of 2. He's up near the 23.
All you got to do is see the hair fly. Look, he'll come off this backside. Watch him go right, shoot the gap. It's just an excellent play by Troy Polamalu. Plays with such great instincts and tenacity. Very difficult to keep away from the ball carrier. Usually takes you right to the ball.
6 defensive backs for the Steelers. It's third down and 6. Obadiah is in, offering a block, and that's caught by the tight end Cameron. That is a first down. Timmons had a beat on him, knocks him out of bounds. He's up to the 39. A catch and run of 16. A Cleveland first down.
Lawrence Timmons, he told us that he was going to need some help. Take a look on the left side of the screen. He working against 94 is Jordan Cameron. And Timmons said, hey, we will need some help to cover Jordan Cameron, as you see, running away from linebackers, expecting safety help over the top.
There's been a little bit of talk that maybe the chemistry isn't quite great between Cameron and the new quarterback. No personality problem, just the fact they just haven't gotten on the same page.
Yeah, Jason Campbell said that it's going to come back your way. You just keep working.
Here's a 1st and 10. McGahee, who was signed after they traded Trent Richardson with the pickup of 4. You see the bodies on him, including Cameron Hayward. He's up to the 30, make it the 43.
And Kevin, you can see the last 5 weeks, the numbers for Jordan Cameron has dropped off. But if you were to show the production for other wide receivers, whether it's Greg Little or Devon Best, their numbers have gone up because he's drawn much more attention. You can see the first 5 games, 5 touchdowns in those first 5 contests. Defenses have been showing him a lot of attention that's allowed other receivers to become more productive in the offense.
It's second down and 6, and this is a run which was stopped in its track again. Jarvis Jones there grabbing McGahee, also hit by Vince Williams, another rookie. It's a gain of 3, and he takes it to the 46.
So the Cleveland Browns and Rob Chizzinski, they want to be able to run the ball. The Steelers are a tough team to run upon, and for the Browns, they've really struggled to run against this football team. Their heated rival, the last 100-yard rusher was William Green, some 20 contests ago. It's been forever since the Browns have had a 100-yard rusher against this Steelers defense.
They are really missing a feature guy.
They really are.
They could use him. And again, who couldn't? 3rd and 3. With Obadiah in. He got the ball, chased by Timmons. Another first down throw on 3rd down. It's a pickup of 11 to the Steeler 43.
Lawrence Timmons matched up against Chris Obadiah. Watch number 94. You can see he started the pass rush. He was late finding his coverage. Obadiah slips out of the backfield, able to get it open. And how about Campbell? Keeping vision down the field, hanging in there in the pocket, even though it was collapsing around him. Timmons talked about it. They've got some young players who are playing on this defense, but they're asking a lot of Timmons. He's now the quarterback. Look at him making all the checks and calling out the signals.
It is a first down. Obadiah again, following the block by Mack and brought down on the play by Al Woods. It's a gain of 3 down to the Pittsburgh 40 or so, and a player. Is that McClendon? Is he down? He is. McClendon is hurt. Steve McClendon with 7 starts. Had that forced fumble on a fake field goal last week by the Lions. And the clock at 4 seconds to play here in the first quarter. And now it'll expire. We'll go to the second. We'll update McClendon when we come back. Steelers, and Sweezum with a 47-yard field goal. Cundiff with a 49-yard field goal. McClendon walked off under his own power, but they're working on that left ankle right there. We'll try to update his situation when we get a chance. We're going to start the second quarter with the Browns on the move at the Pittsburgh Steelers 40-yard line, and a second down and 7. Ziggy Hood will be in the middle of the line. 8th play of the drive. Jason Campbell, up the middle they come. And thrown to the side where it's caught by Whitaker, who is brought down on the play by Clark on a gain of 5, close to a first down to the 35.
How about Jason Campbell? Well, watch as the pocket collapse. Look at him rip through his progression. Then he escapes a little bit, moving just ever so slightly to his right, buying a little more time to get the ball over to Whitaker. And you're not used to seeing Jason Campbell extend plays with his mobility, but boy, does he have a big-time arm to get the ball out on the perimeter.
Well, Campbell on this drive has completed third down passes of 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 3 to get a first down. 3rd and 2 here. Back by Tom. Here they come, and he's grabbed on the play by Hayward and Jones. And the rest of the Steelers coming through. First sack today. There is Jarvis Jones. He and Hayward combining on the stop for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you can see him right here. There's Hayward, 97. He collapses the pocket. Then Jones closes in from the backside, meeting at the quarterback. Campbell had no chance there as the offensive line didn't do the best job of keeping the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and holding them at bay.
And going into the wind, knocked him out of field goal range. And you can see that this guy, Spencer Lanning, had a tough one last week against Cincinnati. Antonio Brown is back at about the 10. And again into the wind. End over end. Brown will let it bounce. Great. There's a flag thrown and retrieved by Barnage. And the ball at about the 6. Had the proper spin on it for the Browns. 36-yard punt as it stands right now.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 31. Half distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
That's Curtis Brown. Ben Roethlisberger is back out there for the Pittsburgh Steelers, leading their offense. He is number 6 in yards passing this year. A sack by Cameron Hayward knocks Cleveland maybe out of field goal range. It would have been tight nonetheless, but he gets the sack. That's the 3rd for him this season. After the punt, 9 plays. Here comes Roethlisberger, marooned at his 3. Le'Veon Bell hopping over bodies, flies into the grasp of Gibson, picks up 5 on the play and put him up at the 8.
Kevin, the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know, they've gone 18 consecutive games without a 100-yard rusher. Le'Veon Bell is looking to put an end to all that. Right now, I'm seeing this offensive line beginning to get some rhythm. They're starting to create some seams and creases up front in this Cleveland Brown defense, providing room for Le'Veon Bell to get to the second level.
Second down, long 5. Bell. You got the block from Gilbert. Wrapped up in there by DeQuell Jackson. Also hit on the play by Ishmael Kitchen. It is a gain of 3 to the 12.
It was DeQuell Jackson, as you see him join with Foster there. Watch number 52. Mirroring the footwork of Le'Veon Bell and meeting him in the hole. It was he who called the team meeting this week. It was he who impressed upon all the young players with this Cleveland Brown football team just how important this rivalry is. Both teams checking in at 4 and 6. He says it's taken a long time in his career to get to this point to be playing a meaningful game against Pittsburgh so late in November.
Roethlisberger looks into the dime, 3rd and 2. Good block by DeCastro and almost picked off on the play by DeQuell Jackson. They were looking for Bell. 3 and out. They got a punt. do the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, this is risky. Ben Roethlisberger's going to his right. He's looking the entire time. Look at DeQuail nearly had it. And number 21, Chris Owens, he was breaking in on it, and he would have had the interception. And Ray Horton understands one got away there. And what did Rob Jasinski go in and tell his defenders this week? He said, we've got to just catch the ones that we get our hands on. That's how we're going to make big plays.
Here is McBriar. First one went 43, but that was into the wind. He'll have the wind at his back here. Poyer is back for Cleveland at about the 40. Poor punt. Hang time of 3-3 with the wind-aided punt. That's all he gets, 41 yards. Jackson comes up big on that last defensive series for the Browns. Coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report from New York, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for the latest NFL scores, news, and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report from our CBS studios. Well, great beginning field position here for the Cleveland Browns, starting at their own 47.
Now let's see if they can take advantage of it. They're pretty much one-dimensional, Kevin, not manufacturing any rushing yards. It's all reliant upon the arm of Jason Campbell.
First down and 10. Run by Ogbonnaya, who had 8 carries last week for 69 yards, a burst of about 10 as he takes it right up the middle, and he is down to the 43.
What do you know? And look, he's just going to find a seam there, very patient. Look at this. They collapse that right side, and they're able to get to the second level. So as soon as I challenge this Cleveland Browns rushing attack, Ogbonnaya makes a play against the Steelers defense.
With McClendon injured, Al Woods is playing the middle of the defensive line. It is a first down. Campbell, great time. Underneath Cameron. Ooh, and then he's drilled by Timmons, who's the leading tackler today. Timmons making his 49th consecutive start, a gain of 5 to the 38.
Yeah, Campbell is getting it going. He's finding Jordan Cameron in this game. He talked to us about it. He told Jordan Cameron, he says, look, they're going to show you a lot of attention. He has started to make some plays. People are going to take you away, but it comes full circle. Sooner or later, we're going to go back to you. You can see right now this Cleveland Brown offense is starting to manufacture some plays.
Into the nickel, second down and 5. McClendon will not return left ankle. Whoops. All kinds of stuff going on right there as Campbell is getting set to.
False start, offense. Number 55, illegal snap. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's the 5-year center, number 1 pick out of Cal, and a Pro Bowler back in 2010, Alex Mack.
Yeah, sometimes even the center forgets the snap count. he was flinching with the ball. He just went ahead and snapped it because he got caught moving. And he was the only one ready at that point in time. Campbell wasn't even ready for the football.
Campbell with a second down and 10. He's hit 6 consecutive passes. Faked it Ogbonnaya. Throws it away because the pressure from Worlds was there on the right tackle, Mitchell Schwartz, who has been struggling this season. Worlds has gotten to the quarterback a couple times already this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, we said at the beginning of the game about Jason Campbell, Kevin, that, you know, his personality has had a calming effect on this football team. I think you just saw on a play right there that wasn't there. He never panicked. He simply just made a good decision to throw the ball away at the feet of Chris Ogbonnaya. You can see on third down, he's been so good at keeping the chains moving, but he avoids the disastrous plays where he keeps the offense out of harm's way.
6 defensive backs. Third down and 10 for Campbell. Up the middle they come again. Oh, was almost picked off by Polamalu. Great pressure again from Jason Worlds. He has been in that backfield a ton already today, and Campbell a little bit wobbly getting up. Cleveland has got a punt.
Campbell comes in with his ribs not being quite 100%. He takes the hit from Worlds, throws it late to the outside. Maybe a bad decision, but boy, is he going to take a lick. Watch him right here. Go to the ground. Right on that elbow. He told us this week, Kevin, the ribs are getting back to normal, but not quite 100%.
Here is Spencer Lanning to punt into the wind for the Cleveland Browns. Ironically enough, they had Zoltan Mesko in this week, trying out on Tuesday because Lanning has got a bad knee. left knee has been swelling up. This goes out of bounds, and let's see where they mark this off. At the 10. Nicely placed punt by Lanning. 34 yards. Timeout, tied at 3, 9:41 in the second. Well, we've had 4 consecutive punts. Roethlisberger begins here at his 10-yard line with a first down and 10. Felix Jones is the running back. Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown slips by 1 with the snow beginning to fall and finally brought down by Tank Carter on a gain of 4. He's up to the 14-yard line, and fantasy football fans get a fresh start with Player Challenge. It's a 4-week game that now includes even bigger cash prizes. See rules and sign up at cbssports.com/challenge. This brings up 2nd down and 6. Browns defensive coordinator Ray Horton plotting and planning with his 4th-ranked D today against Roethlisberger.
A little confusion in the nickel coverage by the Browns.
2nd down, 6. Screen pass. DeCastro with the block, Gillespie with the block, and brought down on the play by Kruger, the former Baltimore Raven. It is a gain of 4. He's up to the 17.
And I thought the Cleveland Browns defense, they had a difficult time getting lined up. They were out of position. I thought Felix Jones, if he would attack going to the outside, as we take a look at Browns defensive coordinator Ray Horton, former teammate of mine. Kevin, he was always the smartest guy in the room, even as a player, a Dick LeBeau disciple, and doing a really fine job grooming this defense into championship form in Cleveland.
5 defensive backs on a 3rd and 2 for Roethlisberger. Underneath, that's Antonio Brown. Chased by screen, pushed out of bounds by Gibson. It's a catch and run up to the 30-yard line. He picks up 12 on 3rd and 2 and a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Todd Haley, offensive coordinator for the Steelers. See that bunch formation? That's how you get your intended receiver open. Joe Hayden had been doing a wonderful job of taking Antonio Brown out of plays. What they do is they align him tight in that bunch formation. They rub off the defenders, bring him underneath. Todd Haley doing a wonderful job of really scheming his receivers open on that play.
I told you he's number 1 in receptions in the NFL. He was number 5 in receiving yards coming into today.
And getting help from his coach, allowing him to get open.
1st and 10. Jones remains. Great catch. Terrific grab with a Hayden tackle on Antonio Brown. Gain of 9 after he just had a catch and run of 12.
Right now, Ben Roethlisberger going with a no huddle. We talked to Mike Tomlin about the no huddle. He said we can't use it as our primary offense. And he even talked about being on the road.
2nd down and 1. T.J. Ward gave a good stick that time to the running back Felix Jones, who picks up 2, takes it to the 41, and gets Pittsburgh a first down.
Yeah, they hurry up a little bit, but Mike Tomlin talked about the fact that they could not use it as their primary offense. He said we got a lot of moving parts on our offensive line, some inexperienced players, and then he talked about the communication problems on the road in a game like today, but they're still going to go with it. This is when they want to increase the tempo to make plays.
First and 10. Roethlisberger. Emmanuel Sanders across the way, knocked down by Chris Owens after a gain of 7. Good throw right there. And Roethlisberger said, too, remember now that the playbook for the no huddle is much smaller, obviously, than our regular playbook.
Yeah, they're somewhat limited in some of the things that they can do.
5-yard penalty, first down.
Late flag with the illegal formation on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, they talked about it, the fact that, yeah, there is a limited playbook, and he said it reduces the menu is what Mike Tomlin talked about. And he says we have an inexperienced offensive line, a new center in Velasco. He said, so there are just too many variables that really limit your ability to use the no huddle exclusively.
Marcus Wheaton is one of the 3 wide receivers for Roethlisberger. He's in the slot, 1st and 15. And that's grabbed by Antonio Brown again. Whacked out of bounds by Hayden. 17-yard pickup, and on this drive, Brown has had a catch and run of 12, a catch of 9, and a pickup of 17 right there.
Yeah, and Joe Hayden sort of gets shoved off right there by Antonio Brown, creating separation. Wise old veteran play by Antonio Brown to be able to come away with the catch.
Brown had 7 catches and 146 that he laid on the Lions last week with 2 touchdowns.
And you got to be careful to tackle him because he's very slippery once he has the ball in his hands.
Hey, no, let's go right here. Let's go here. Go now.
It's 1st and 10. Taking the progression outside. Brown bobbled it as he was hitting the chalk, and Hayden was right there. I don't think he was the first option.
No, he was not. And Ben buys time. But look at, there's the catch. See, that bobble right there prevented him from catching it cleanly inbounds. And, you know, Ben talked about what the no huddle does give him, Kevin. He said, look, I call plays based on what I see. Coordinators, they call plays based on tendency. So you see him really controlling the game from the line of scrimmage. When he gets locked in on you defensively, he can carve you up.
Jonathan Dwyer is the slot, bottom of your screen, 2nd down and 10. And this is Dwyer, hit by T.J. Ward. Dwyer just coming in, makes his 6th catch of the season. He picks up a yard to the 46.
That's excellent coordination of the defense. Ray Horton, they were all over it. They were blitzing from that side. You could see T.J. Ward was in perfect coverage. They forced a 3-step drop by Roethlisberger. You could see Ray Horton working diligently right now. And Ben even talked about it. It's a chess match between the quarterback and the coordinator, Ray Horton, who sits on high looking down on his defense.
With 6 defensive backs, Bell is at the side of Roethlisberger, 3rd and 9. They need the 37. The blitz is on, and the ball is away. Incomplete. Throwing it away. Incomplete pass. 4th down.
Check.
McFadden.
Yeah, check Ray Horton. He brings them in from the right, overload to the right. They weren't ready to pick it up. Ben had to dump it. Ray Horton right now, he has a real good feel for where to bring the pressure and when to bring the pressure.
McBriar to punt to Devon Bess, who's back for the first time today inside the 15-yard line for Cleveland. Get signaled for, they wanted to. Bess back at about the 12. 33-yard punt. You take a break late in the 2nd quarter from Cleveland, tied at 3. Our great CBS family trying to stay warm.
Taking one for the team today, right?
Yeah, a 9-play punt for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got a 47-yard field goal from Sweezum early on. Browns got a 49-yard field goal. Here we go, 1st down and 10. It's Josh Gordon slipping through the grasp of Ike Taylor, running out of bounds at about the 23. A catch and run of 10, and should have the 1st down. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Whitey Bulger was public enemy number 1 and on the run for 16 years. So how did the FBI find him? Find out yourself only on 60 Minutes tonight. Whitaker in the backfield, 1st and 10. Campbell is a starter this year, 1 and 2. And Whitaker. There's a good block in there by Cameron, but it didn't open much because Hayward had such a good beat on it off the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is a gain of 4 to the 26.
Kevin, since the Cleveland Browns came back in 1999, they've only won 5 of their 28 games against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rob Jasinski talked about it. He says, I have a 7-year-old and 5-year-old sons. He said the 7-year-old dominates the 5-year-old, and he says, I tell him, one day the younger one is going to flip the script. That's what they're trying to do today against Pittsburgh.
Going to the script here is Campbell out of bounds on that 2nd down and 6. He was looking for Gordon, and he is down.
Yes, he is.
Was it Worlds again? He was chasing him. He was hitting him. Ziggy Hood also had some pressure.
And there's the pressure coming in from behind. Look at Worlds, 93 closing in. Wraps up that ankle, twists and turns him around. And Campbell hits the ground pretty hard. He's already battling rib injuries, as he had talked about. Said he could not drive the ball 1 week ago in that game against Cincinnati. Brandon Wheaton is going to warm up, as Jason Campbell appears to be very woozy.
This will not be the first time that Wheaton has taken the place of Campbell this year. 3.5 to play in the half. Looked like just a routine tackle, and the pressure applied by Worlds, and Campbell was slow to get up but did run off the field. And the #1 pick last year out of Oklahoma State for this Cleveland Brown offense, Brandon Wheaton, is in, and he'll take over until Campbell is ready to go, if he is ready to go.
See, he's sort of trying to move his midsection. He was able to run off and jog off lightly, so you can only hope that he can regain his composure. This happened in the Baltimore game. We saw him leave for a period of time. Wheaton came in, and Campbell ended up getting back into the ball game.
3rd and 6. With Obanaya in the backfield through the hands of the tight end, Jordan Campbell. So that's incomplete. That would have been good for a first down, 2. Coverage by Timmons. It's 4 and punt for Cleveland.
Now, these are the catches that I think Jordan Cameron struggled with. When he's got to square up to the ball and maybe come back to it and work his way back, if anything down the field, he's going to haul it in. But whenever he's got to square up to the ball, come back to it, can't haul it in as easily.
Landing to punt, and there was pressure. He had a couple wrapped last week, a block and a deflection. Antonio Brown slithering his way up and takes it to the 47 on a 14-yard return, hit by Botamosi.
Kevin, big bruising running backs have always been the prototype here in Pittsburgh, and it began in the 1960s with big John Henry Johnson. He checked in at 6'2", 210 pounds. Hall of Famer Franco Harris was a robust 6'2", 230, and my good friend Merrill Hodge, 6'2", 230 pounds, was an all-around back. And how about the 255-pound Jerome Bettis? He epitomized a prototypical Steeler running back, and now Le'Veon Bell at 6'2", 230, he also fits the prototype. That's why the Steelers used a 2nd-round pick to bring him in, hoping to add balance and a much-needed running game to their offense.
Bell is at the side of Roethlisberger. You see the deployment of receivers. 1st down and 10. 2 timeouts. And this is Emmanuel Sanders with some nice blocking ahead. Ward got a hand on him, as did Carter. It's a gain of 11. 1st down, Pittsburgh, and to the 41.
Pittsburgh Steelers use these little screens to the wide receivers, much like a running game. It's an extended handoff. They flip it over to these guys, and they're so good at running with the ball after the catch. It helps them to get the ball down the field in a conservative manner.
2 down.
First down and 10 for Roethlisberger. Going deep with the win. He's got Antonio Brown. That is a Pittsburgh Steeler touchdown. They get Joe Hayden a 41-yard throw.
An incredible throw with the wind at his back. Ben Roethlisberger takes advantage of it. Now take a look. You know, it's got to be some kind of double move. Oh, he just stems him straight up. Hayden looks back into the backfield, and he allows Brown to get behind him. That ball appeared to be coming out and stayed right on the chest of Antonio Brown. Watch, Hayden almost rakes this ball out. Look at him pull and tug. Ball comes out and rests right on the chest of Antonio Brown. He has himself another touchdown, the 6th of the season.
And Roethlisberger throws his 11th touchdown of the year. Roethlisberger is 13 of 17, 143. The extra point makes it 10-3. Pittsburgh with Sweezum putting it through, and as the snow falls, a hug from Kiesel. A touchdown reception by the top receiver right now in the NFL, Antonio Brown.
Welcome back. Antonio Brown's able to get behind Joe Hayden to get the Steelers their first touchdown of the day. It's their first play of 20 yards or more. Here it's just going to be right down the field, a 9 route. And watch the head of Joe Hayden. He looks back. That's where separation occurs. Remember, the Steelers came into today's game tied for second with the most pass plays of 20 yards or more. And they get themselves another one here in the second quarter, one of a 41-yard variety.
Squeeze them with the wind will be kicking off. Ozzie Whitaker is back. Had some time with the Chargers earlier this season, and away he goes. And up to about the 19-yard line and brought down by Antoine Blake, who co-leads them in tackles on special teams. 21-yard return. And we just got word he's got bad ribs now. Bruised ribs does Campbell, but back out he comes late here in the first half.
And let's see if he can drive the ball down the field, Kevin. When we talked to him on Friday, he said that it bothered him last week in Cincinnati. He felt like the bye week had robbed he and his receivers of the timing and rhythm that they had found in that game against Baltimore as they entered the bye week and really did not have it last week. And the rib injury, he said, bothered him, but he had a good week of practice. But after that hit, let's see if he can regain his composure and strength.
With a first down and 10. Campbell, Gordon hit by Polamalu, pushed out of bounds by Taylor. That's another catch for him. Pickup of 16. Clock is stopped. The ball to the 36.
Oh, these teams come in both with a 4-6 record. Take a look at it. 9 teams within 1 win of that 6th seed, that final wild card spot in the AFC playoffs. It's just an incredible logjam at the 5-5, 4-6 area, and 2 teams within this division battling for that final spot.
With a first and 10. Going deep for Gordon. And the coverage there by Ike Taylor. Incomplete at the 25. We just saw a long touchdown pass of 41 yards to Brown. Steelers on top. 2-minute warning. At the 2-minute warning with 1:56 to play. 2 timeouts Pittsburgh, 3 timeouts Cleveland. Second down and 10 on the 36-yard line. Campbell. Josh Gordon belted out of bounds by Ike Taylor. He's got the first down. He picks up 10, and he is up to the 46.
Look at the cushion provided to Josh Gordon by Ike Taylor. He just literally gives him a first down, and Gordon could have maybe gotten even more out of it. And we're also seeing some really nice throws outside of the numbers by Campbell. He's got a real good whip on the ball despite dealing with that rib injury.
He's throwing into 6 defensive backs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Polamalu is there. Good block by Laval, and this is Ogbonnaya. Polamalu brings him down, and the ball was jarred loose. It looks like the Steelers have gotten the ball on a fumble by Ogbonnaya, which is his 2nd of the season. First turnover of the game.
Watch Troy Polamalu come in with the hit on Chris Ogbonnaya and just robs him of his mail. He'll just come in. Look at him hit the line of scrimmage. Now watch him come off and get the tackle and rake this ball out before Ogbonnaya gets to the ground. Right there. Now he may want to take a look at it and see if his knee hit the ground before the ball came out. Oh no, ball's out. It's going to be close. But credit Troy Polamalu for doing what Troy Polamalu always does, making a play on the football.
And inside 2 minutes, there is no challenge. It is automatically reviewed. Every turnover is looked at as every score. And Ogbonnaya, who has been running well, in fact, has had a nice game today again, has fumbled for the 2nd time. He lost the first one earlier in the season. Looks like he's lost this one as well.
Watch Troy Polamalu. He's one of those rare players like, I can tackle you and take the ball from you simultaneously. I believe the ball was out before he actually hit the ground. Now, it was ruled a fumble in the field of play, and so they need clear visual evidence to overturn it. And I'm not so sure they have. In fact, I think it shows that the ball did come out before Ogbonnaya hit the ground.
The turnovers have been a big story for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In their 0-4 start, they turned it over 11 times. In the first month, they did not have a takeaway, but since that time, now 6.5 games, they've had 11 takeaways and just 7 turnovers. So that has been a huge swing for them.
The Pittsburgh Steelers had 3 takeaways in that game against Detroit 1 week ago.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner lost control of the football prior to any other body part being down. First down, Pittsburgh.
And Polamalu does it again.
He is something else. He's a player. You know, many of these guys, we talked to Ryan Clark, they feel like this could be one of their last runs together. This is a team that's up against the salary cap, aging players all over the defense, and they feel these final 6 games could be their opportunity to play together and finish off a great career in Pittsburgh, making a significant run into the postseason.
So the Steelers, who have 2 timeouts, have the ball first and 10 at their own 46. Bell banging off bodies and running well before Kruger brings him down. Nice run by Le'Veon Bell. It's a 12-yard gain. It's a first down to the 42-yard line of the Browns.
This is what Mike Tomlin wants. You're talking about winterizing your offense, not having to throw it in the air and giving it to your bell cow back. Le'Veon Bell is a guy that can move the pile, and you saw it there.
No pun intended. He's carried it 10 times for 43 yards. One of his best, if not the best, running start to a game that he has had. Here's a first down. Emmanuel Sanders quickly grabbed by Chris Owens, out there by Gibson. The gain to the 35, and let's see, 7-8 yards on the, we'll call it 7.
Real blustery, and look at Mike Tomlin saying, I don't want to have to settle for a field goal. Let's see if Ben can get us some points here, because the wind is blustery.
And at their back. Second down, 3. Underneath, Heath Miller. Carter brings him down. He's got the gain for a first down to the 27-yard line, picks up 8 on the play. So Miller continues to catch well. And a timeout taken by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a half minute to play here in the second quarter. The Verizon halftime report in New York is being put together for you right now. JB and company, scores, highlights, news, all the things wrapped up in a very busy pre-Thanksgiving weekend in the NFL. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report. 1 timeout remaining at the 27 at Cleveland with the 1st and 10.
Kevin, as good as Rob Chudzinski's defense has been under their coordinator, Ray Horton, the areas that they really have had a point of emphasis is what? 3rd down, red zone, and also sudden change situations. After the turnover, getting a stop and not allowing points. This is one of those critical moments where this defense really do have to prove their mettle.
Middle.
Roethlisberger, who's hit 7 different receivers on 1st and 10. Miller, great catch, broken tackle, and plows into the grasp of Jackson. The gain to the 14, 13-yard pickup, another Pittsburgh first down.
Someone need to tell Tashawn Gibson that Heath Miller is a man. He's a tough guy to get on the ground. You saw after making that catch and then taking the hit from Gibson.
Miller on the day, 4 catches and 36 yards.
Watch the hit he takes from Gibson, but Heath Miller is one of the toughest football players in the National Football League. If you don't wrap him up, he's not going down. They're happy to have him back. Remember, he started the season on PUP, and there's Tank Carter, I believe.
It is. He's replacing the injured Craig Robertson. Carter, who's making his 2nd NFL start today, a 2-year player out of TCU who was originally a 5th-round pick by Buffalo. And an injury timeout, which is now assessed the Browns. Thus, they go from 3 to 2 timeouts and 20 seconds remaining.
And allow I think, some time for Pittsburgh to kind of organize themselves as they're now inside the red zone looking to get a touchdown. This is going to be huge for the Cleveland Browns after the turnover, not allowing Ben to be able to get a touchdown here.
Well, they'll bring in Darius Eubanks, a rookie free agent out of Georgia Southern. Didn't Georgia Southern just have a big football win yesterday against Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Against the Gators?
That was big. Has there ever been any bigger?
Well, that's a pretty big one. But here's a big play coming up for Roethlisberger in the offense. No quarterback in the NFL has been sacked more in the red zone than Roethlisberger. Facing 2nd down and 10. From the 14, Bell wide atop your screen. Roethlisberger Ooh, ricocheted, incomplete. It may have been Hayden. He was leaping in front of the pass intended for Antonio Brown.
This is a great play by Joe Hayden. Watch him knife in underneath. He understands it down and around the goal line. Look at that play. You have to get between the quarterback and the receiver. He allowed himself to slip underneath at great position. You can see the red zone defense last in the National Football League. Told you it had been a point of emphasis during the bye week, and over the last few practices is something that they put a lot of work on.
He also may have had a fistful of jersey too on that one.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Sometimes ask the New England Patriots and Carolina Panthers, 3rd and 10. And he's got Bell, and the big hit right there by Tashaun Gipson. Coughs that baby away. Incomplete pass. And they'll try for 3, and Cleveland will hold him out of the end zone.
Great play by Gipson because he's wide open. He catches that, he may score a touchdown, and Gipson comes over, lays a lick on Le'Veon Bell, separates him from the ball, forcing the Steelers to settle for a field goal. That was an excellent read and reaction by Gipson coming out of center field.
Actually looked like he dropped the ball before the hit by Gipson, so it was just a drop by the running back, the rookie. Here is a 32-yard field goal try by Sweezum, and that makes it 13-3 Pittsburgh, cashing in on the fumble by Cleveland running back Ogbonnaya with 7 seconds to play in the first half. Well, this week, don't miss the show that is in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. Join your host, James Brown, along with Phil Simms and Chris Collinsworth with the artistry of NFL films. Inside the NFL, the show the pros watch, Wednesday at 9, only on Showtime. So a field goal of 32 yards. The second today by Sweezum, who belted one through from 47 earlier on. They've also gotten a 41-yard touchdown pass, and the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road, where they've only won one game this year, on top as we close toward half by 10.
Pittsburgh Steelers, we talked about them being a very resilient football team. Had lost their first 4 games of the season. You can see the total yards in this quarter, in the second quarter, where they're starting to heat it up. But they've won 4 of their last 6 games. And they still, Kevin, believe they can win the division. They know the Cincinnati Bengals have a murderous row in their final 5 games. They're in the bye week this week, is Cincinnati. But Mike Tomlin has painted a picture for his team that has them possibly winning a division title.
And Sweezum will put this on the ground, out of bounds, and Whitaker better get out of it. He goes at the 16-yard line, and well, that could have been a real big mistake. As with 6 seconds remaining, here comes Jason Campbell. Now you're into the wind, so he can't really throw as deep as he would like to, and my guess is that perhaps they'll just sit on this and take it.
I was going to say you give it to a running back, just let him run it out, but after fumbling on the previous position, yeah, you just go ahead and take a knee, go in at halftime, and you've got to make the proper adjustments where they can start making some plays on offense.
Well, there's a 3-way tie in the AFC North among Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. And there are 9 teams in the AFC within 1 win of each other. These 2 teams obviously very much alive in. So a field goal of 32 yards. The second today by Sweezum, who belted one through from 47 earlier on. They've also gotten a 41-yard touchdown pass, and the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road, where they've only won 1 game this year, on top as we close toward half by 10.
Pittsburgh Steelers, we talked about them being a very resilient football team. Had lost their first 4 games of the season. You can see the total yards in this quarter, in the second quarter, where they're starting to heat it up. But they've won 4 of their last 6 games. And they still, Kevin, believe they can win the division. They know the Cincinnati Bengals have a murderous row in their final 5 games. They're in the bye week this week, is Cincinnati. But Mike Tomlin has painted a picture for his team that has them possibly winning a division title.
And Sweezum will put this on the ground, out of bounds, and Whitaker better get out of it. He goes at the 16-yard line, and Well, that could have been a real big mistake. As with 6 seconds remaining, here comes Jason Campbell. Now you're into the wind, so he can't really throw as deep as he would like to, and my guess is that perhaps they'll just sit on this and take it.
I was going to say you give it to a running back, just let him run it out, but after fumbling on the previous position, yeah, you just go ahead and take a knee, go in at halftime, and you got to make the proper adjustments where they can start making some plays on offense.
Well, there's a three-way tie in the AFC North among Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. And there are 9 teams in the AFC within 1 win of each other. These 2 teams obviously very much alive in the playoff picture in the AFC. The big play, a 41-yard touchdown pass to the dancing Antonio Brown from Roethlisberger. After this message, the Verizon halftime report on CBS. Well, the Steeler offense today, no turnovers, no sacks allowed, 17 minutes of total time of possession. After the punt, they've got it first and 10 at their own 23. Line holding up, going deep and looking for Brown again with Hayden there, and he just about had the pick. And incomplete on a ball that hung with the wind at the back, second down and 10.
Wow, this is a hated and heated rivalry. And these two are amongst the best in the NFL going at it today. Joe Hayden locked up in man-to-man coverage right in the hip pocket. In fact, in the chest of Antonio Brown. This is what happened during commercial break. Joe Hayden goes over on the sideline. He's joining in a team meeting with Pittsburgh. Has a chat with Antonio Brown. A little smile and a little bit of love. Even Mike Tomlin said, "What are you doing in my bench area?"
You don't see that very often, do you?
No, but you know, both guys are very competitive. You love the spirit in which Joe Hayden brings to this competition.
Short pass, screen to Bell on second down and 10. Grabbed and brought down by Billy Wynn out of Boise State. That's a pickup of 11. Up to the 34 and a first down.
Oh, here is what we've seen all day from Joe Hayden and Antonio Brown. Hayden right with him, step for step, in his pocket. Little push off from Brown. Talked about the competition, and then a 41-yard stretch and go to the end zone. Hayden nearly get the ball out, but Brown's able to haul it in for a touchdown, and they'll continue to go at it here in the second half.
With the first and 10 handoff, this is Bell making a miss and running well. Taba Rubin grabs him, along with Eubanks, brings him down near the 40-yard line. A pickup of 6 since Tank Carter has gone out. Rookie free agent Darius Eubanks has been in. In fact, he starts the second half for the Cleveland D. It's second down and 4. Bell today 11 for 49 on the ground. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Giving this offense some balance and allowing Ben Roethlisberger to operate in the no huddle.
Bell's only averaging 3.1 coming into today. Second and 4. Underneath. Sanders hit by Owens and brought down 46-yard line. That's a pickup of 6. That is another Pittsburgh Steeler first down.
You know, so much has been about Ben Roethlisberger getting the ball out quickly, not taking hits. Came into today's game having, of course, this offense had allowed the 3rd most sacks of any team in the NFL. But he talked about it. His goal is to finish this season standing upright and finish the season healthy. You do that by getting rid of the ball quickly on pass plays.
And of course, last year at this time, he did not play in the game here in Cleveland. Charlie Batch did. First and 10. Miller upended by screen. That's a gain of 6. And he's down to the 48-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. We just got word that Carter has a shoulder injury. They don't know if he'll return at the inside backer position. So he now is 3 levels deep. Robertson is out. Carter has taken his place. He's now gone. And now they got a rookie in there. Here's a second down and 4.
Hey, blue blood! Blue blood! Hey, January!
I love hearing the offensive linemen make their declarations as well. Bell right into the teeth of that Cleveland D. There's a gain of 3. Jackson was there at the bottom of the pile to the 45.
I love Ben. He says, does all the stuff to get everyone lined up. Then he says January. What do you think that means? It means it's going to be on the first hut. January being the first month, it's going to be on the first sound. And you have to be able to pick up on those things if you're on defense, to be able to understand the verbiage of the offense, clues you in, and helps you to be able to make plays defensively.
Dwyer is in. 3rd and 1. And he was grabbed by Kruger and brought down. Jonathan Dwyer doesn't get anything on the play, so now 4th and 1 from the 45.
You don't have to tell with Taba Rubin. He's clued in. He's clued in on this run play. Watch Big 71 go slicing right through along with Kruger, making plays, getting to the ball carrier, preventing the first down. Now on 4th and 1. You know, Ben's a big guy. He stacks in at 6'5", 210, 220 pounds. He'll keep it himself if he's under center, and that's where he's lined up.
Extra lineman is in. 76, Mike Adams. On the right side where Miller is. 4th and 1, Dwyer and he punctures it and takes it in. And should be close, but let's see on the spot. Not as good as I thought. I think he's going to be shy. Rubin was in there, and they do make the stop. A great play by the Cleveland D, where it looked like maybe Dwyer had the first. Which I think now they're going to have to. The red challenge flag is out. They're going to challenge the spot, and they should. Timeout. We're back in Cleveland. It was a 4th and 1 for Mike Tomlin's offense, and the ruling is that Jonathan Dwyer, who took it right over the guard, was shy by a half yard. We've seen a replay. It looks like he may have acquired the first down. They've challenged the play.
Take a look. I think he gets at least to the 49. Ball's on that back shoulder.
44.
Oh, yeah, the 44, excuse me. And look, that's where
After
it is.
review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner did not make the line to gain. Pittsburgh is charged.
That's
with the
right.
First timeout. First down, Cleveland.
They're going to stand by their spotting down on the field.
At the very least, he was not on the ground because there were bodies under him. Let's watch this one more
Take
time.
a look at it. See if he makes it to the 44. Where is the ball? See right there? Now, that ball is short. I will say this. Right there, it's shy of the 44-yard line, and that's where they spot it. And they brought the chains out. It didn't show that he had enough to pick up the first down.
Odds don't diminish the job done by the Cleveland defense. They hold. They take over on downs at their own 45 with the 1st and 10 for Jason Campbell. And McGahee in the backfield. Then he's got Gordon on the cross. And he's shoved out of bounds on the play by Vince Williams, rookie out of Florida State, catch and run of 9.
Browns have had some success. Look, as you see Gordon come across the formation, they've had some success at doing this, but not much in terms of yards after the catch, as Gordon's able to get close to the first down marker. Now, they need to get something going on this possession, Kev. They have excellent field position.
2nd down, 1, McGahee. And you see 65, Al Woods, among a couple making the stop, picks up 4. Has the Cleveland first down. McClendon is out, left ankle, will not return, and they've got Al Woods out of LSU, who was waived by Seattle a couple of years ago on the defensive line.
Remember, Willis McGahee was picked up after they traded Trent Richardson. He came in and played that first game, week 3 on the road at Minnesota. He's got to be able to give them something, Kevin, when he comes into the ball game. Now he's off on the side, and you have Whitaker in the backfield.
McGahee only averaging 2.6 a carry. 1st and 10. Bess. The blockers ahead. Good beat on him. Will Allen. Former Buccaneer and Cowboy, and 3 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gain of 3 to the 39.
Ray Horton there is his mentor, Dick LeBeau. 50 years in the National Football League as a player and a coach. These are not the numbers you're used to seeing with his defensive rankings, but they talked about so many new players, so many young players having to plug in replacement of Larry Foote and other veteran players. James Harrison also no longer on the team.
With a couple of tight ends, 2nd down and 7. They get away from Worlds. He's chased by Jarvis Jones and wisely just throws it away. Jason Campbell on the move. Incomplete. Let's take you to our CBS studios in New York and James Brown.
How you like this setup? Kevin and Solly
They have really started using Ryan Matthews better, not using him as much and picking and choosing where they put him
He's
in.
always been capable of doing so much more of the offense, and now he's producing.
3rd and 7. Obadiah picked up one blitz. The ball charged free. It's picked up by Will Allen, and there he goes, getting a good block on the play from Hayward. Chased by Obadiah, and down at the 4. Campbell is down, writhing in pain at the 48. The big hit, the blitz was on. Campbell is down, ball jarred free, and 10-year veteran Will Allen takes it down. 1st and goal to go, Pittsburgh.
Looked like his number 22, William Gay, comes in from the blind side, and watch him sneak in right there. And he's going to be able to catch right there. Jason Campbell gets the ball out. Will Allen scoops it up. A well-timed and well-disguised blitz play by Dick LeBeau's defense. And give credit to William Gay for timing it up perfectly. They didn't account for him coming off the corner. And that's what the zone blitz does so well. It confuses your protections up front. You usually get a free blitzer onto the quarterback. And now when you create turnovers, that makes playing defense a lot of fun. Watch the hit right there. 22, Gay from the blind side. Pries the ball loose. It's a fumble, and Jason Campbell on the ground just now being helped up and over to the sideline.
And Roethlisberger stood there the entire time. They came out about the same year. 9 years Campbell, 10 years in the NFL, Roethlisberger. And that's the second time Campbell has had to be escorted off the field. This time took it right in the kisser.
Let's take a look at it. He comes in with the arm, yeah, and kind of pokes him in the face a little bit. Right there, that's really just going to wrap up, and watch the quarterback duck. See, as he ducks, here comes a hand to the face. Now, you're not supposed to go to the head of the quarterback.
How's that different than like Drew Brees last week?
Well, the one for Drew Brees last week was they called it a clothesline hit to the head and neck area.
Well, regardless, 1st and goal from the 4. Bell in the backfield, Roethlisberger. Touchdown. That's Emmanuel Sanders, a 4-yard throw. Sanders and the Steelers cash in on the fumble off a big hit on the injured Jason Campbell.
Looks like the big brother is still the bully, Kevin.
Yep.
After making a play on defense, takes one snap of the ball for Ben Roethlisberger to get the ball to Emmanuel Sanders coming underneath. Buster Screen could not come away clean off the pick, allowing Sanders an inside entry into the end zone.
Touchdown number 3 for Sanders. They're still looking at Campbell. Extra point now by Sean Sweezum. Steelers opportunistic. 2 fumbles by the Cleveland Browns. And it's 20-3 Pittsburgh. So the big hit came by Gay right onto the quarterback. And then the other quarterback found Sanders for 6. Roethlisberger has thrown for just under 200 yards. He's got 2 touchdown passes, highly accurate, 20 of 28. And cashing in with 10 points off those 2 turnovers by the Browns. That brings us to a 20-3 game here in the 3rd. Ozzie Whitaker will bring it up and then gets belted by Keon Wilson. And the return for 24 yards, and that is not a good sign as Jason Campbell, who for the second time had to be taken off the field, is now leaving the field for good.
Yeah, it's a symbol of the heart being willing, but the body isn't able. Knocked out of the game for the second time. He's battling rib injuries. He told you that coming into today's game, and he's been hit, hurried, and harassed, and hit very often. That gives way to Wheaton to come in for Campbell. As you can see, his head bowed. Not feeling well at all.
Ready?
2 tight ends, 25-yard line. Whitaker on 1st down and 10. And Worlds had a hit on him, as did Ziggy Hood. It is a gain of 3.
Well, we told you Jason Campbell has been hit, hurried, and harassed. Only sacked twice on the day, but hit more times than that. And every time he goes down hard. And it was on that hit by William Gay that forced the fumble. Pretty much spelled the end of the day for Jason Campbell, who's being taken in at this point, and gives us Brandon Wheaton coming back into the ball game. And maybe Brandon Wheaton gets one more shot to prove to everyone in Cleveland that he can play this position for this football team.
With a 2nd down and 7. Nobody home across the way. Looking for Best. Coverage by Cortez Allen. Here come the boos, not just for Cleveland, but for the entire NFL. If they decide to keep him or whatever they're going to do with him.
And just to add some balance, it's not a difficult spot to come in. He doesn't take the snaps with the ones during the week. And he has to come in on a cold, frigid day, but he's got to be able to heat it up. He's got to be able to understand what he's going to get from this defense, know where he wants to go with the ball, let his progression take him to the open receiver.
Most of you know the story. Left high school as a decorated high school quarterback in Oklahoma. Went to the minor leagues of baseball, being a high pick. And went back to Oklahoma State. Here's a 3rd and 7. Good catch by Bess. He's at the 34, picks up 6, close to a first, but looks to be shy if the spot is where it is, and it is.
Here's
shy.
the unfortunate part. He's open, Kevin. He shouldn't have to dive for this ball. If you have great ball placement there, he turns and gains that extra yard, and you have a 1st down. That should be an easy completion for a new set of downs.
The Steelers take a timeout, 6:29 in the 3rd, as we're anticipating a Cleveland punt. Well, we love saying they anticipate a punt, but that's not the case. They're going to go for it. Pretty good on 4th down, 11 to 23. Quarterback keeper, Whedon. He should have the first. Whedon looks like he's got it, and they'll move the chains and keep it alive.
Yeah, Cleveland had converted 75% of their 3rd and 1 opportunities, 3rd best in the NFL. Well, why not go for it on 4th and 1? You got everything on the line here at 4 and 6. Your playoff hopes are flickering, pretty much on life support, trailing 17 points in the 3rd quarter at home to Pittsburgh.
Open eye in the backfield. Jordan Cameron, hit by Cortez Allen. He races for the 1st down, picks up 12. He's up to the 48.
One thing Brandon Whedon has not struggled to do, Kevin, when he has had the opportunity to play, is that's get the ball to Jordan Cameron. And you can see right there, finding him early. Now, if you're Whedon, you got to settle down, because his ability to have good ball placement to his receivers when they're open, it allows him to create yards after the catch. Devon Best had to go diving for 1, came up a yard short of 1st down. If he can hit them in stride, they'll make plays for him.
Little is on the wrong side. Whitaker, a running back at the bottom of your screen. It is a 1st and 10, blocked by Thomas. That was scooped up, it looked like, by Gordon right there with the stop. Taylor, pickup of 8. And the spot at the 44 of the Steelers.
Intended to be a back shoulder, but watch how low it is. But Gordon still digs it out. Still a good throw because it's complete, but the ability to allow him to create yards after the catch is what you want from your quarterback when we talk about good ball placement. Get the ball on top of him quick, allow him to make a move, and gain yards for you after the grab.
Just been told Jason Campbell out for the game. Head injury, being evaluated in the locker room. 2nd down and 2. Whitaker. That's got a slice, jumping on his back. Lawrence Timmons, 43-yard line, and a pickup of a single yard.
You love the way both safeties in this defense work together. Ryan Clark is sort of the brains of this outfit, but the tenacity and soul of this defense comes from Troy Polamalu, and they know what the other is doing. They've played together so long that they're able to make plays, and you know, Ryan's going to be in the right place. He allows Troy to go up to that line of scrimmage and become that riverboat gambler looking to go for broke, making plays.
3rd and 1, McGahee. Yeah, looks like he may have rolled on one body after another and gotten that 1st down. Yeah, when they have times of peril, Ryan Clark says, he looks over at Polamalu and says, hey, do some of that Troy Polamalu stuff.
Absolutely.
Do some of the stuff that you're known for.
Yeah.
Bail us out.
And 25 has been the safety net on the back end. You see Troy up at the top of your screen right there. You always have to account for him. That means other guys should be able to get up there and make some plays as well.
Well, they got this ball at the 25. Now they're at the Pittsburgh Steelers 42. Big play was a 12-yard pass to Jordan Cameron. It was a 1st and 10 for Brandon Whedon. Here comes Worlds. And there goes the ball. Looking for Cameron. A lot of coverage over there by Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 10. with 3:25 to play here in the third. Tomorrow on Mike and Molly. Get ready for a Thanksgiving showdown. Melissa McCarthy and Billy Gardell star in a new episode of the hit comedy Mike and Molly. That's tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only on CBS. 10th play of the drive here for the Browns. Second down and 10. A flurry of snow now. And right into that wind. Good catch made by Little. Boy, he looked it in his hands and kept it in his hands. He was hit by Allen. He picks up a first down. He gets to the 29 on a pickup of 12.
Well, they gave him tremendous forward progress on that one. He was bobbling the ball, coming all the way back, finally hauled it in, but they're going to go ahead and spot it beyond the first down marker, much to the dismay of Mike Tomlin, who's giving the ref an earful.
And here's the deepest penetration by the Browns today. First and 10. Whitaker. Hit by a couple, including Hood and World. Who's around his waist in a gain of a couple down to the 28.
Oh, this offense is just looking for sparks, Kevin. We said it at the beginning of the second half. They need someone to make a play, and maybe Brandon Whedon can provide that spark.
Second down 9. Whedon. That ball knifing its way down. Polamalu ran into Cameron, or vice versa. No yellow on the field. Somebody has thrown a can at the goal line. It is incomplete, as you saw.
And watch Hayward. I mean, he's 93. Look, that's Worlds. Just walked Mitchell Schwartz right back into the quarterback. Polamalu nearly intercepts that one if he can time the jump a little bit better. But watch this pass rush. The bull rush by Worlds, chopping down the quarterback.
Looked like Will Allen was the one to run the camera. But there was no play. Third down and 9. 13th play of the drive. They need the 19. Whedon over Bess. And there was Ike Taylor over there, and he thought that he was fooled with across the way. Pushed perhaps by Bess. Incomplete. 4th and 9. They're going to go for 3.
Little incidental contact by Taylor upon Bess. Bess got to hang in there and stick with the football.
Bess has got 4 catches today for 19 yards. Well, here is a field goal by Billy Cundiff from 46 yards. He's hit one from 49, and this is into the wind. This will be a load. But they've got to get some points. With a high snap, and oh, the wind just took that thing and ripped it to the left. Missed field goal, 46. You knew it was going to be tough. And our eyes did not lie. Watch the wind grab this ball. Yeah, there it goes. Well, Whedon has taken the place of the injured, and now Jason Campbell was able to construct a nice drive, but they could not get the 46-yard field goal. The Pittsburgh defense holds, and on downs, around the missed field goal, now goes to the 36. First and 10, Antonio Brown. Hit on the play by Darius Eubanks. Grabbed by Ward. The gain to the 45. He picks up 8 on the play. Thanksgiving Day, the NFL on CBS carries on a holiday tradition as the Raiders take on the Cowboys. All beginning with JB, Dan Shannon, coach, and Boomer on a special holiday edition of the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. I don't think they would prevent it, but it will take them there. Second down, meanwhile. Bell in the backfield. Stood up by Ward, then the extra effort looks like it may have gotten him the first down. He picks up 2 on the play to the 47. It is a first down by Le'Veon Bell. To New York and James.
Ravens welcoming Ed Reed back. Osali grimaced on that one. Kevin Harlan.
First down and 10. This is Roethlisberger undershooting Kachuri. There was pressure up the middle. It is incomplete. We've seen the Texans a couple weeks here against Arizona, and saw him a couple weeks ago against the Oakland Raiders, and to be quite honest, Ed Reed just did not have a great deal left in him.
Oh, no, he did not. And talk about not having much left. Watch how open the receiver Kachuri is on this play. And Ben just misses. Look at that, Kevin.
Yep.
That's just a missed opportunity there. And Joe Flacco would have connected on it, as we saw in the update.
5 defensive backs, second down and 10. Bell hit by screen, incomplete. Bell now has dropped a couple today.
Pittsburgh Steelers missing on some opportunities. These are the kind of plays when they go back to watch on tape. Win or lose, you say, wow, we're leaving plays out on the field. We saw Roethlisberger miss Cotry over the middle of the field, and now we see Le'Veon Bell creating a 3rd 10 because he can't hold on to the ball.
You see the Steelers on 3rd down today, 3rd and 10. Roethlisberger has thrown for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You're big, you're big, you're big, you're big.
Dwyer next to him. Offers a block up the middle. They come. Mingo had him, and that forces a fluttering, incomplete ball. The rookie, Markevius Mingo out of LSU, the 6th overall pick with great pressure on Roethlisberger.
There are times where Markevius Mingo becomes like a new man. Watch and take a look. He comes around on that stunt, getting pressure, and then just hangs in there and still able to pivot and get in on Ben Roethlisberger. It's one thing to be able to get your hands on him, another thing to bring him down to the ground, as you saw there.
Mingo's only had 1 sack the last 6 games. There was a story in the Plain Dealer today or this week in Cleveland regarding where are the sacks, because he began first 3 games with 3 quick sacks. Almost blocked. They ran into him. There's a flag. Hayden ran into him. Here comes Poyer at the other end. The Steelers are going to get the ball back, and the tackle made there by a couple of different Steeler defenders on special teams, including Chris Carter.
Almost looked like they should have had it blocked. Wonder if they missed the ball coming off the foot of the punter.
And that is not a good sign, with Brown on the sideline in pain. Curtis Brown out of Texas, 3rd round pick a couple years ago. And let's see the call.
Kicker, defense number 23. Penalties decline. 1st down.
Running into the kicker. As they take a look at the injured Brown. Cleveland will have the ball. Wasn't roughing the kicker, which would have given it to the Steelers. It was running into the kicker.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Boy, you thought, look at this. How close was Hayden on that play?
Very.
Very close to getting the block, and I thought he would have had it. Injury right there. Take a look at it.
Out of bounds. And looked like Botamosi was the one that was jousting with Brown, who, as you can see, is still down about the 19-yard line.
Man, y'all get to go play ball. We got
2 turnovers by Cleveland today. They've lost a starting linebacker. They've lost their starting quarterback. That's on the Cleveland side. Pittsburgh has lost McClendon, their nose tackle. He's got a left ankle. Left early in the game. And here is another injury right now, and this to the special teamer Brown. You know, we were talking before, you mentioned Larry Foote, and last night Ryan Clark was saying when we lost Larry Foote, it changed a lot of our defense.
Yeah, they had to bring in Vance Williams to be the starter, and then in their sub package, Troy Polamalu was playing linebacker. So you have a lot of moving parts. Troy Polamalu is being asked to do some things. And we saw even against the Patriots where they had over 600 yards total offense against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You had a lot of players out of position and maybe doing things for the very first time.
First down and 10 from the 18 for Whedon. Through the hands of Little. That's another drop by the Browns. You've seen the tight end, Jordan Cameron, drop 1-2 right at him. 2nd and 10.
And the inconsistency of Greg Little continues. He's been plagued by drop balls through his career in Cleveland. This one just got to make catch. Now, Whedon does throw a hard ball. It's a fast ball with little something on it. But your job is to catch the ones that are thrown to you.
Set 180.
Open eye in the backfield, 2nd down and 10. Underneath, running back Obadiah, chased down. Lawrence Timmons makes the stop, gain of 4 to the 22.
Lawrence Timmons is one of those players that, you know, he, Woodley, when they were drafted, they didn't play hardly at all as rookies. Troy Polamalu didn't play as a rookie in this defense. It's very complex. There's a lot to know. And so a lot of rookies have been thrust into the mix. Timmons has moved from one of those young players being told where to line up, and now he's having to quarterback the defense and tell others where to line up.
All right, that'll be it. Finishing up our third quarter, Roethlisberger with the 2 touchdown passes, 10 points off of 2 Cleveland turnovers. 2 4-6 teams. 2 consecutive wins for the Steelers. Can they hold on and make it 3 straight? We go to the 4th next in Cleveland. That is our scoring story so far. We go to the 4th quarter. The Browns have it, 22-yard line, and they have a 3rd down and 6. Today with the wind chill is down near 11 degrees. We've had some off and on flurries throughout the day. Whedon is in there for the injured Jason Kemp. Obadiah trying to offer a block, and that is wobbly and away, and the pressure again from Worlds. And they also had pressure from Timmons and Ziggy Hood. 3 and out. They got a punt.
And the coverage on the back end pretty much mirrored the pressure on the front end. They had everyone well covered, and William Gay had simply jumped the route, forcing the quarterback to throw it away.
Curtis Brown, that special teamer you saw on the sideline, hurting down for Pittsburgh moments ago, out with the knee. Lanning will punt for the Cleveland Browns. Antonio Brown is under the ball and waving it off and then grabbing it. Did not signal for a fair catch, but waved it off and then takes it up to the 43. His waving was to alert a teammate that the ball was coming right at him. At number 20 right there, that was Will Allen on a 4-yard return and a 39-yard punt. They've lost a partner and a friend. Now it's payback time. Don't miss a new episode of the hit drama Person of Interest, Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS from the 44-yard line. That's the kind of communication a veteran like Brown can give, though, warning his teammates that the ball's coming down and to get out of the way.
Yeah, help you to avoid that disastrous play. As you look at Brett Kiesel, the bearded one there, talking to his teammates. He's in the last year of his contract, and his future uncertain as to whether or not he'll remain with this team after the season.
Here's Bell with 2 tight ends, including Palmer on a 1st down and 10, and the entourage with the stop there, including Gibson, gain of 3 up to the 46.
Pittsburgh, I think they're well served now with that 17-point lead as you get into the 4th quarter. Pound the running game. This is where they want to be able to feature their running game in their 2nd-round pick, Le'Veon Bell. Let's see if the offensive line can get movement and begin to run the ball the way Mike Tomlin talked about when we spoke to him last night, understanding it's going to be a critical part of their offense if they're indeed going to make a run for the postseason.
Time 2. Sir.
With a 2nd down and 7. Bell. And a gain of 3 to the 50, which will make it 3rd down and about 4. The AFC wild card race in the hunt. A lot of teams, 9 of them all within 1 win of each other.
Jets are winning today, and Miami, Jets are losing, I should say, at 5-5, and Miami is up in their game. They're 5-5. The key is don't expect any help from anyone, Kevin. Take care of your business as the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing here today in Cleveland.
6 defensive backs, 3rd and 4. It's Bell with a block from Velasco and a 1st down run. If they put the ball inside the 46, they do. It is a 1st down run. Bell got it.
Yeah, what a nice and nifty run by Le'Veon Bell. Attacking the hole and doing so with great power and ability. This guy can be a rising star within this offense. It's been quite some time since they've had that one signature runner that they've become accustomed to having over so many years.
His season high is 93 yards against Baltimore. That was back on October 20th. He's got 64 right now. Extra lineman in, Mike Adams. It is a 1st and 10. Adams with the block. Tackle made by Ataba, Rubin, and Jackson. Into the yard to the 44.
They told us they were going to give him some opportunities. Talk about this offensive line. I mean, when you lose a player like Marquise Pouncey, you lose a lot. He's their signal caller up front on the offensive line. He's their leader. He's a vocal presence and personality on this offensive line, and they've had to go with Velasco. What did Mike Tomlin say? We had to microwave Velasco.
Yes.
I mean, they needed instant results.
Well, when you lose a guy like that, 8 snaps into the season, it's going to be felt. 2nd down, 9. And Bell hit by Jackson. Right down about the 42 on a gain of 2. And he might be the best center in the NFL. I mean, he's thought of in very high terms, and to lose him so early in the year, they did a great job in getting Velasco and getting him up to speed.
And yeah, Velasco just had a great block there, able to control the nose. Jackson came down and was able to clog that line, but yeah, he's done a really wonderful job of grasping this offense rather quickly. Look at him pointing people out and making the calls that Pouncey was used to making.
Had some starting experience with the Tennessee Titans. Here's a 3rd and 7.
Watch the game.
Blitz is on, 6 DBs, caught by Sanders, and he's got the first down. Diving, tackled on the play by Owens. He dives to the 33, 10-yard pickup, and the drive stays alive.
Sanders is one of those players. Remember the Patriots signed him to an offer sheet this offseason, and everyone in Pittsburgh waited with bated breath saying we cannot afford to lose Emmanuel Sanders. Even after losing Mike Wallace in free agency, the Steelers went ahead and matched the offer sheet, brought him back, and boy, they're happy they did. Even Ben Roethlisberger went into the office saying, you've got to bring back Emmanuel Sanders, and I think he showed us why.
Sanders has 6 catches. Brown has 6 catches. 1st and 10. Extra lineman and Bell. Held up by that extra lineman. That was Adams, who grabbed him and tried to carry him, and then Gibson gets him after a gain of 4 just inside the Cleveland 30.
Yeah, this is that big brother asserting himself in the backyard over little brother. They are pounding the run game. On this drive, 6 run plays, only 1 pass play, and they are just getting movement up front against a really good Cleveland Brown defense. Remember, Cleveland Browns entered today's game number 1 in the NFL, only allowing 4.4 yards per play. Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are asserting their physicality at the line of scrimmage.
With the 8th play of the drive, 2nd down, 6. This is Bell. Rubin jumps on his back, 24-yard line. Very close to a first down with a gain of 5. The Browns have had some success here, 7-4 over the last 11 home games against the field, but this is the domination of the Steelers since 0-1 against Cleveland.
Yeah, not just the 21 wins, but look at the points per game and the average time of possession. And that's exactly what they continue to do today. They're dominating just about every phase.
He squirts through for the first down. That's Bell on a 3rd and 1. He gets to the 21-yard line. Eating up the clock. We're approaching 9 to play. Each team has had a chance to move it a little bit, but a turnover for Cleveland earlier in this half, then the missed field goal, and they find themselves down by 17. 2 turnovers today by the Browns, 2 touchdown passes by Roethlisberger. And you saw the numbers for Bell is now up to 79 yards, and Jonathan Dwyer is in. 1st and 10.
Blue 30. Blue 30.
Looking and poking his way, then belted by Eric Martin to the 21. And the gain of about a half yard for Jonathan Dwyer. There's some shoving after the play.
Got to know the frustrations are mounting for the Cleveland Browns, coming off a heartbreaking loss in Cincinnati 1 week ago. They came into this game saying that we need to be able to establish some kind of line of demarcation to let us know that we're still improving. The fans expecting so much of this team. Having already split with Baltimore and Cincinnati, they even told us that they, since coming back in '99, have yet to beat both the Ravens and Steelers in the same season. And that was a goal they hung out in front of them today.
2nd and 10, end around Antonio Brown. Read well by Ward. Brought down at the 29, losing 8.
Well, this is what you want to see. Players like TJ Ward still competing in the ball game, regardless of score. Still understanding that I got to make some plays. Look at the nice under to make a tackle on an elusive player with the ball in his hand, and Antonio Brown able to tackle him for a loss. See TJ Ward, he's one of the stars on this defense. You know, Ray Horton relies upon TJ Ward to give stability in that secondary.
3rd down, 18, 7.5-minute drive. They need the 12. Dwyer drops it. Ward was covering near the 26, 27-yard line. It's 4th down, and they are going to go for it.
They're going to go for it, absolutely. Now you're kicking into the wind, so you can't rely on a field goal here. You may as well go for it. Your defense is playing so well, and obviously being in the no huddle gives you a good opportunity to convert.
So 4th and 18, play clock, plenty of time as you can see, and again they need the 12-yard line of Cleveland. 4th and 18. The pooch.
Look at that.
And will it be saved? Yes, it will. Sanders grabbing it at the 1. And Ben Roethlisberger doing it all today. Touchdown passes, orchestrating long drives, and then a pooch punt by the left-footed quarterback out of Findlay, Ohio. He can do it all, and you can see those nice career punting numbers. Of course, more times than not, they're deep in opponent's territory. But hey, the point is, he's kept 3 of the 5 inbounds. No touchdown on 3 of them. 1st and 10 for Wheaton as they have to take it and go in deep. And here's Gordon, and he beat Taylor out of bounds on the chalk. Taylor read it. He was on the way. Now we may have a difference of opinion.
All right, Josh Gordon is so smooth when it comes to those vertical routes. And now they're going to
call it a reception.
Yeah, absolutely.
47.
1st down.
47-yard completion to
Right.
Josh Gordon. 1 and 2.
1 and 2. That's very easy, very definable. Had a 74-yard home run catch and touchdown last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. You can see he's got the speed to get deep.
4. Hey, ho.
He's number 4 in yards per game. 1st and 10, Wheaton right here, and looking to the side for Little. The coverage by Cortez Allen.
Good break on the ball by Allen. He nearly had himself an interception. I want to go telegraphing if you're Brandon Wheaton.
You mentioned before that Wheaton is in a position right now where there's a lot of talk that they are looking at quarterback in the draft. I don't know if the new regime, and it is a new front office here in Cleveland, if they're sold on this kid. He's had multiple chances this year, including all of last year, and it just doesn't seem to be clicking for him here. 2nd and 10. Even though he was selected by Holmgren and company in the previous regime, undershooting an open Obadiah,
Yeah, simple
incomplete.
plays like that where the receiver's open, still can't hit him.
Well, coming up on the Subway postgame show from New York, join James Brown, Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, and Coach Bill Cowher for all the latest NFL scores, all the news, and all the highlights from today. All coming up on the Subway postgame show, 3rd and 10. With Obadiah in the backfield. Wheaton is 6 of 15 so far. They're going to place of the injured and out Jason King. Polamalu is coming and picked up, and then finally knocks it away for a 2nd time. And this one's picked up by Hayward. The big man is running. And then knocked out of bounds by Little. And Troy Polamalu has just forced his 2nd turnover today. He beats the running back, he gets the quarterback, and it's the 3rd turnover for the Cleveland Browns. Browns have fumbled 3 times today, 2 caused by the 7-time Pro Bowler Troy Polamalu. First time in his career that he's jarred 2 free in a game. Bell on 1st and 10. With Roethlisberger still in and a 17-point lead and the clock ticking. Gain of 1. What a day for Troy Polamalu.
He's doing that Troy Polamalu stuff that Ryan Clark talked about. Hitting people, taking the ball away from them, creating turnovers, more big plays on defense to set the offense on a shorter field. When you get takeaways and turnovers, it goes a long way into contributing to winning football games, and Troy Polamalu is every bit the winner.
Roethlisberger will use as much time as he can between plays, obviously. Second down and 9.
Blue 30. Blue 30.
And Bell got away from Ward and then grabbed by Owens and doesn't pick up anything down there. And the clock continues to tick. Well, the Home Depot SEC on CBS heats up your holiday. Big time on Friday. Arkansas will take on LSU. Then the Iron Bowl. This is about as good as it gets in college football when A.J. McCarron and #1 Alabama take on Trey Mason and the Auburn Tigers, all beginning with the college football special and college football today. Not only is it a great matchup of 2 top 10 teams, 2 teams in the same state, going after the same recruits. Competition is off the charts. That'll be a beauty next week on the SEC on CBS. 3rd and 9. Felix Jones chased by Jackson and belted on the play by Hayden.
Felix Jones has been a really good addition to this offense. He gives them a little bit of a change of pace from the normal prototypical Steeler back. A fast twitch to him. You can see he took that ball there on the draw play and had a little bit of quick and burst into his step.
They traded for him with Philadelphia.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Punt coming up for Matt McBride. Signed, as we mentioned earlier, as Steeler fans know, in late October after they released Mesko. And that will be a touchback, even with the great effort put in by DeMarcus Van Dyke. 36-yard punt. 4.5 to go. It's a surprise.
4 down.
Whedon has it 1st and 10. On the 20. Punt went in the end zone with the touchback. And intercepted and picked off by Gay. He will take it to the house. And the Steelers extend their lead and shut the door for good. A 21-yard interception return by William Gay.
Just the fire zone. You read the quarterback. We talk about the matchup zones Dick LeBeau has. And no, it's just going to be an out route here. And then watch Gay. He'll just drop back and then he'll jump the pass coming on that outbreak. Take a look here from the tight end. Right there. Boom. He didn't drop. I don't know where Whedon was thinking about going with the ball because he should have been able to see William Gay the entire way. You can see Tomlin very happy with the fact that his secondary is being able to create turnovers here today.
And the first Steeler defensive touchdown in 16 games. Squeeze them 27-3.
I just don't know where Whedon was thinking about going with the football there, Kevin.
I know where Gay was going. To the house. 27-3 Pittsburgh. William Gay taking it in on the pick of Whedon. And 4 turnovers by Cleveland today in the ensuing kickoff. It'll be Whitaker who will take it for the Cleveland Browns and then hit by Will Allen, who is part of Dick LeBeau's defense. And hasn't that defense come to play today, forcing 4 turnovers. And here is a guy who attended London High School in Ohio and graduated in the class of 1955, went on to play at Ohio State for Woody Hayes as a defensive back. He was actually drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round in '59, but was cut in training camp. In fact, a lot of times players that were cut, like LeBeau, were given jobs to ride taxis, to drive taxis. Here's a pass to Gordon. Got by Taylor. He's being chased by the defensive back Ryan Clark and forced out of bounds downfield at about the 34.
You're going to look up and see Gordon already, even before that catch, over 100 yards receiving in today's game.
He's had 5 100 yards.
Now 5.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is quite the playmaker in this offense.
Whedon on 1st and 10. Here comes Jones. There goes the ball. And it is incomplete. Looking for Little. Coverage by Cortez Allen. But finishing up that story, when guys like LeBeau, who are quality players, were let go, were cut, Paul Brown used to get him jobs in the city as taxi drivers so they would stay close. They wouldn't go someplace else and hook up with another team. Thus came the term the taxi squad, which is now our current day practice squad.
Well, now he found himself in Detroit playing with the likes of Dick Night Train Lane and Lim Barney. They're all Hall of Famers, all three of them. And Dick LeBeau went on to play 14 seasons.
2nd down and 10. Gordon on his trail. They've got the defensive back Taylor. Out of bounds he goes at about the 17, 19-yard catch and run as Josh Gordon continues to rack up numbers.
Coming across the middle of the field. These plays have been pretty much open all day. It's probably why he thought he had Jordan Cameron. Look at the block right there. Little puts on Cortez Allen. May have been defenseless, but didn't appear to be harmful.
Now Gordon with 10 catches and 187 yards, and it's hard to find anything positive out of this. It's the second consecutive week that the Browns, unfortunately, have had a nice opportunity at their doorstep and they've not been able to cash in. Whedon, what a catch by Gordon. My goodness. And there was a thicket of Pittsburgh defenders there. 15-yard pickup. He's over 200 yards receiving in a 1st and goal.
He beats Ike Taylor at the line of scrimmage. That's why he wins. And what did Mike Tomlin tell us? In a North Turner offense, he is the Vincent Jackson of this offense. And boy, is he. Vertical stretch. He has over 200 yards receiving now in the game. That's quiet 200 with 11 grabs. Wow.
Pull down. Lucky.
1st and goal. Cleveland with all 3 of their timeouts. And that is a no, he dropped it. Jordan Cameron. Cameron thought that he had the ball. There's a discussion. They both, in fact, 2 officials were there and ruled it incomplete for the former college basketball player at USC.
Take a look and see if he one-hands this ball, Kevin. Wow.
Oh,
right there, it moved at the end.
Sure did. You're
see,
right.
It moved at the end. He had it initially.
He did.
But see, right there, if that ball rotates and moves as it did there, see, he had to put the other hand on it to grab it. That's why it's an incomplete pass. He wants to take a look at it. Look, Trzynski got that red flag in his hand, but by letter of the law, see, he catches it there, but then watch the ball move, and see how he had to re-clutch it because the ball was being squeezed out as he hit the ground. Once that ball moves after you hit the ground, it's deemed to be an incompleted pass.
Got to get this off. 2nd and goal. Gordon, touchdown. And they beat Ike Taylor. 1-yard touchdown throw. Whedon to Josh Gordon.
Quietly today, I think we are going to come away from this 2013 season understanding that the Browns have a weapon in Josh Gordon on offense. There are a lot of rumors that he could be traded before the trade deadline, and even Trzynski did not want that to happen. Gordon didn't want it to happen. I think they found that they have a remarkable player who could be really a special one here in Cleveland.
This is a Cleveland franchise record. Receiving yards in a game, the 2-point try. Best, he hit the pylon, he got in. And that time working on Gay. So 2 points there, 3:13 to play, 3 timeouts.
How about this? Brandon Whedon leads him down on a touchdown. Now 2-point conversion. Watch Best. Just reach right across that pylon. Gets his feet inside as well, beating William Gay to the spot to get the 2-point conversion. It's Cleveland Browns, you have a lot of fight in them.
Well, as a coach, that's what you want to see out of your team. You don't want to see them lay down.
You want to see them continue to come out and compete. You know, Josh Gordon is competing. The offensive line providing protection for Whedon. On offense, an impressive drive.
Down by 16. You would think, and there's the onside kick graphic that our sharp crew downstairs puts together, and very timely. How big is that interception now by Gay moments ago for Pittsburgh, taking it into the end zone? Had that not been thrown, of course, a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas, but 20-11 looks a lot different than 27-11.
Turnovers are the dreaded killer in terms of the competitive balance. If you're even with a team, it's one of those great equalizers. If you have the advantage, it'll certainly balance things out.
And you've got the Polamalu's and the Wheatons and players like that on that line. Johnson is on there. Running back is on that front line, Jonathan Dwyer. All guys used to holding the ball, handling the ball. They got the punter and the kicker here. And that is grabbed. Dwyer is the one to jump on it on the onside kick. It did go the mandatory 10 yards, so had he coughed it up in some way or form, Cleveland would have had a shot. Baltimore has already won today. They go to 5-6. Pittsburgh has the 16-point lead with 3:12 to go.
Both teams will play on Thursday night in Baltimore on Thanksgiving. Of course, this score holds up. Pittsburgh will become 5-6, and they'll be all tied up, and that puts a lot of meaning on that game on Thanksgiving in Baltimore.
Blue 20. Blue 20.
Here's a 1st and 10. Dwyer hit up in the top there by Deshaun Gibson. Deshaun makes the stop, gain of 3 down to the 43, and a timeout is taken. Roethlisberger today has gone back to throw 34 times. Not a single sack has been allowed by the Pittsburgh offensive line. And they go up against a Cleveland defense today that had been averaging 3 sacks a game, good for number 8 in the NFL. And after today and with that game against Baltimore, this is what is upcoming for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Still have 3 games left within the division. Cincinnati Bengals have a murderous schedule. They've got the likes of San Diego and Indianapolis on the back end of their schedule, and even a matchup against these Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you're the Steelers, you've got to feel that if you win out, good things are going to happen for you, and there's a good chance you'll be playing in the postseason.
2nd down and 7. This is Dwyer. And hit by Phil Taylor on the defensive line just inside the 40-yard line. Picks up 3 on the play.
Cleveland Browns next Sunday, they'll host the Jacksonville Jaguars, and look at games on the road at New England. They got Chicago and then at Pittsburgh to finish off the season. It's not going to get any easier for Rob Chizinski's bunch.
And Cincinnati, of course, in first place. And they are trying to ward off a charging Baltimore and it would appear Pittsburgh team. And we're going to give you the schedule here in just a second. 3rd down and 3 with the ball at the 39. Cleveland a timeout and the Steelers with a timeout.
Hey, 5-2. Side. Hey, I'm going 43. I'm going 43.
Voice of Velasco.
Blue 30. Hey, alert. We gotta go. Hey, here. Shut up.
And it goes off to Dwyer. And Dwyer was again hit by not only Jackson, but Deshaun Gibson. No gain. They stay at the 39. Now it is 4th down. And Roethlisberger, who's done it all, he has punted, he's thrown a couple of touchdown passes and led this team well.
Well, he's always been a phenomenal athlete. Going back to his high school days at Findlay, Ohio, was a great basketball player. Here at quarterback, getting the ball into the end zone. Then even as a punter in today's game, down he went inside the 5-yard line. He's as relaxed and as comfortable as I've ever seen him. We talked to him about all of these trades rumor. You know, he said it was frustrating. He said, but at the same time, it was laughable. And even the organization has come out clearly said they have no intentions of trading their franchise quarterback, a 2-time Super Bowl winner in Ben Roethlisberger.
Cleveland took their final timeout. They are now finished. Steelers have won. McBriar is back to punt. And the wind has picked up as the second half has gone on. High long snap by Warren. Bess, beautifully goes out of bounds near the 4. Mark it at the 3.
He's trying to top Big Ben, isn't he?
That is a great punt by Matt McBriar. 36 yards with the placement. is perfect.
That's a statement punt right there.
It
And
is.
we'll show you who the real punter on this football team is. I can't be outdone by my quarterback. Look at him. Nails it. Right inside that 5-yard line. That was like hitting the wedge, right? With a little backspin.
Plus, going into that wind, you get that natural help right there, too, so you can get a little bit higher. You know you can still swing away at the fences, so to speak, and that's what he did, but he placed it well. 3-yard line. No timeouts. Whedon 1st and 10. Here comes Hayward. He throws it away at the feet of Whitaker. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
These Pittsburgh Steelers are resilient, and they are relentless. They feel they can catch the Cincinnati Bengals. We talked about them having a murderous schedule. They're on the bye week today, but look, games at San Diego, then Indianapolis, at Pittsburgh, and they finish off the season against Baltimore. I can tell you right now, if you're Pittsburgh, you keep winning, things may turn out well for you.
Here's the 2nd down and 10. Whedon hit as he throws. That's incomplete. And great pressure coming up the middle. And who else? Worlds. He has been all over the place today. Worlds taking the place of Lamar Woodley.
The Worlds has come on, and you've seen Hayward put in a whale of a game today. And the way that they're coming on, these young guys, they battled the injuries early. Cincinnati Bengals are battling the injuries late, having lost Geno Atkins, lost Leon Hall on their defense. It'll be interesting to see how it shapes up in this division.
With a 3rd and 10 for Whedon. And caught. Gordon shoved out of bounds by Will Allen. And he's got the 1st down. He's to the 23. He picks up 20 on 3rd and 10 for Cleveland.
Well timed, making plays over the field. Look, Ike Taylor jumps a route early in front of him and leaves it wide open behind him at the 2nd level for Gordon to make the grab.
224 yards, as you can see. The record is well over 300 from an NFL standpoint, but he's already set the Cleveland single game mark today. Whedon ricochets off the palms of that running back Whitaker. Incomplete. And 2nd down and 10.
Well, they've attempted, 48 passes between Brandon Whedon and Jason Campbell. Whedon at this point has already thrown it more than Campbell did. Obviously dictated by the score, but that's why you can have those kind of breakout numbers by Josh Gordon, who's taken advantage of the opportunities.
2nd down and 10. Whedon moving up, and another drop right there by Whitaker. And that is incomplete. Fozzie Whitaker.
Ball thrown behind him, Kevin. Didn't have a chance to really haul it in.
So the Browns, who today were beginning a little span here of 3 home games in 4 weeks, having lost last week in Cincinnati, an opportunity that they thought they could cash in on, and then a big opportunity today appeared to come just short. 3rd down and 10. Losing their starting quarterback Campbell to a head injury, concussion testing being done. Gordon on the move, the tackle by Allen, the gain to the 36. He picks up 13 yards.
And how many times have we seen Gordon catching this ball over the middle of the field? They're able to hit him, whether it was Jason Campbell or Brandon Whedon. Guys hauling it all in.
Solid. That's the 14th catch, and that ties the all-time Cleveland Brown record of Ozzie Newsome. It's 1st and 10, and down he goes, and hit by Jarvis Jones. 2-minute warning.
Coming up on the Subway post-game show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all of the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway post-game show.
Nice job.
Thank you, Kevin, for allowing me to share your work.
Nice job.
You're a wonderful teammate. You always have been. It's like an assist.
You are right there. 2nd down and 10. And Whedon overshooting little, and that ball sails about 20 yards over his head. And now 3rd down. Well, we have a lot of people starting some holiday traveling this week and going to places near and far, we wish you a very happy and prosperous Thanksgiving. Enjoy family, friends, and food.
And we're all looking forward to it. We talked to Mike Tomlin, I should say, about where he's going to be on Thanksgiving Day. He said, hey, we work. He's going to be in Baltimore getting ready to play the Baltimore Ravens on that evening.
3rd down and 10 for Whedon. Chased on the play, Al Woods. Taking the place of the injured Steve McClendon. That is the 5th sack authored by the Pittsburgh defense. Woods' first of the year.
These young players are now beginning to come on, getting some feel for this defense. Brett Kiesel, he's out of the game. Remember, they already had to replace a guy like Casey Hampton with Steve McClendon to start the season. A lot of guys getting valuable experience.
4th and 16. They need the 46. Devon Bess out of bounds with the coverage across the way by Gay. Picks up 8, and on downs they will turn it over. So Pittsburgh will officially put this on ice, and this is the way the playoff picture looks right now as the Steelers win their 3rd consecutive game, their 4th in 6, their 5th in 7.
And the New York Jets begin the day at 5-5. They fall to 5-6. Miami Dolphins certainly in the hunt. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin keeps his team hunting away. And what did Ryan Clark tell us? It feels good to be playing in these meaningful games. This team is very resilient, and they're used to playing for meaningful moments at this point in the season.
The Browns, on the other hand, who started 3-2, have now lost 5 of 6. And another win for Roethlisberger, who against Cleveland goes to 16-1, 6 consecutive wins. And the regular season record of Roethlisberger overall 92-45. On that 2nd and 12 to a knee, and that's it. The Steeler defense today with season high 4 takeaways, 5 sacks. Roethlisberger 217 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Bell, the rookie running back, with 80 yards on the ground. And Antonio Brown, 6 catches, 92 yards, a touchdown reception. Sanders had a touchdown reception, and Troy Polamalu had 2 forced fumbles. And that's it. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. The Pittsburgh Steelers go to 5-6. The Cleveland Browns drop to 4-7. Subway postgame show coming up. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, and a very happy Thanksgiving.